Hello and welcome to another episode of A Bryce Side. The summer holidays are well and truly upon us. Shelley is at work, Matilda is out on a play date, so it's just the boy and me. So AJ and I, we are going to walk into town and there's a few little bits we need to do. We're going to pick up some hot dog rolls because Shelley and I want hot dogs tonight, and we've got like some leftover sauerkraut in the fridge, and we've got some of the German bratwurst sausages that we picked up in Lidl's a little while ago, so we're going to formulate them and put them together and make like some sauerkraut hot dogs, a little bit of mustard on top. But that's a little bit later in the day when Shellbell is home from work. So a couple of bits to do in town. AJ and me, like I said, going to stroll in very shortly. I've got to get him dressed. And I've been told that Loafs Bakery, which is a new bakery in Causeway Head, it's only been open a couple of months. Apparently they sell some delicious pasties. Might head in and see what their pasties are like. I don't know if AJ will want one. Maybe they do other things like sausage rolls and stuff like that. AJ's rather partial to a sausage roll. But then again, he's a Cornish boy. He does like his pasties. So we'll see what they are like. We'll either bring them home to consume or we'll just eat them out. I don't know. I've got to be back here by... what's the time? It's now almost 11. Got to be back here by 2 o'clock because that's when Matilda is coming back from her little play date with one of her friends. So we've got plenty of time. But we haven't got a lot of time, if that makes sense. So... rambling intro is now over, so let's go check it out. Now AJ, I think it's time to get dressed. Because, you know, I mean, look at you. Are you ready to get dressed? And ain't it just typical that it starts raining? As soon as we leave, it starts raining. That's okay, I'm not going back for a coat now. It was just a passing shower, so now perfectly dry again, nice and sunny. Ah, the smell of petrichor. Just walking past the YMCA now here in Penzance along Alverton Road. And a lot of the buildings, a lot of the houses on this end of town were sort of built with the wealth from the maritime trade back in the 1800s, 1700s, 1800s and whatnot. And I don't know, I would love to have seen that building in its heyday before, like, the extensions here on the side and out the back, and on that side you've got another extension. Wouldn't it have been wonderful to have seen that house before it was all added on and became like the YMCA? I don't know when it became the YMCA. If you know, then drop me a comment, let me know, because I'd like to know, actually, because, yeah, beautiful building, the original part of it, I mean. And it's raining again. Another one of these old houses here, one of these old homesteads here on the west side of Penzance. Again, I might be wrong, I believe they were all built on the back of the maritime trade, because Penzance did used to be quite a big harbour back in the day. You know, like particularly before the railway came. So yeah, another one of those big houses on the west side. That one states the coach house. That's what it would have been originally. I don't know if it was affiliated with that structure or whether it was sort of like an independent structure or whatnot. I'm not 100% sure. It's a residence now. People live in it now. But there you go, former coach house. And I do like this old building as well. Been painted white in recent years. I believe it was white before, if I remember rightly, but it was really dirty. So it's all been done up since. But I do love those chimneys. Look at them. Really ornate. Passing by the top of Alverton Road, this dwelling is of interest. I find it of interest. If you know anything about like your naval history, bit of a deep cut this one. But that thatched cottage was the former childhood home of Admiral Pellew. And Admiral Pellew was pretty famous back in the day, back in the sort of Nelson period, back in that sort of Nelsonic period. There's a little plaque there on the wall. I'm not going to walk over to the other side of the street now, but there's a plaque there saying that this was the former homestead of a young Mr. Pellew, and Admiral Pellew. I don't think he was originally from Penzance. I believe he was from Kent, or he was at least born in Kent, and then he had family here, or family moved here, something like that. And he did spend quite a few years of his life here in Penzance. And what's interesting, you can see how the level of the street has been raised over the past years, because you can kind of see that you have to step down to the front door. Oh, interesting. Always loved this building. A former house that's now been sort of carved up into several like flats or apartments. I assume. I think it's multiple dwellings in there now. But I always get like Haunted Mansion vibes from that house. I could always like see, I always kind of want to see like an apparition looking back at me from one of those windows. Kind of neat. And here where, I think that's Hawkins Road? I think that might be Hawkins Road. Right opposite Hawkins Road here on Green Bank. And then you've got this rather imposing building. No, I might be wrong. I mean, now I believe it's all apartments. You know, like flats, people living in there and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure that it used to be a telephone exchange for Penzance. I'm not 100% sure on that. So again, if you know, let me know in the comments. And again, some more lovely old homes. Presumably, I think I'm right in saying, built on the back of the maritime trade. Again, if you have any more information on that, then you know what to do. Just let me know. This one here that I'm looking at has been turned into several apartments. That was done a few years ago. Not sure about that one. I don't know. That one might be a single dwelling. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I don't think that's cut up into flats. I think that's just one home. Very nice home. And that's at the bottom of King's Road here. We've got some more lovely houses and whatnot. I believe that used to be, I want to say like a gatehouse. There was a second like pillar. I've seen some old photographs. I'll try and find a photograph and kind of insert it in as I'm speaking. But this used to lead up to, oh crikey, I can't remember what it's called now. Is it the Blytho? It was something to do with the Blythos, I think. It was an old manor house, then it became a school, something like that. But the second pillar, the one on the right hand side, was moved because it used to be like here-ish when the road was more narrow, and it was moved to the other side of the road. We'll go and check that out. A little sign that states King's Road. This must be an older sign, because actually lots of the newer signs now, you see it doubled up in Cornish as well. But here is the other pillar that did stand there-ish somewhere. But it was moved, presumably when the estate was built up there, like the housing estate. I haven't got a date on that. I don't know what those houses are. Maybe 1930s, something like that. But you'll note that that one over there has got like a ball on top of it. This one, the ball is gone. So I wonder if the ball fell off when they were moving it and they just didn't bother sticking it back on. I wonder. I don't know. Maybe. If you know, let me know. And now just heading along Alverton Road, almost in town, and we're going to get our pasty and nip into Co-op and just buy a couple of bits for our hot dogs later. I think it's actually just the buns that we need, so we'll pick up those buns. I think that might be all we need in Co-op. I'm not sure. We'll have a little browse and then procure our pasty. What do you think, AJ? Is that a good idea?
I need a pasty.
You need a pasty. Is that what you want? Do you want a pasty or a sausage roll? You want a pasty? Right there in the centre of frame, you've got the First and Last pub. I think it's closed, actually. I don't think it's currently open. But back in the day, like back in the 1800s and early 1900s, I believe that's where you could get the coach. It would take you all the way to London. And of course, when I say coach, I'm obviously talking about a horse-drawn carriage. So I wonder if there's any tie-in with the coach house that we passed by a few minutes ago over on Alverton Road. I wonder if there's any tie-in. Maybe there was some coaches, maybe that's where the coaches were like stored, and then they came here, and this is where you boarded the coach, and it would just take you through town and eventually get you to London. It would be a novelty to ride to London on a horse-drawn coach, but I don't think it'll be very comfortable. Yeah, I don't believe the First and Last is currently open, which is a bit of a shame. It wasn't a bad little pub. Right, almost there. Still doing quite a lot of work to the exterior of St John's Hall. All that like scaffolding and scrim that's up there. I suppose there must be just like, I don't know, cleaning it off, touching up some of the like cement work, something like that, I assume. Right, made it to Co-op. Gonna head in and just get the bits we need. What's like the smell coming in here? I don't know, maybe it's just me being weird, but oh, it's nice. Right, well there are some white finger rolls. Let's see if we can find something slightly more substantial for our hot dogs. Maybe we won't be able to. I don't know. Oh, what are these? Oh, there we go. 4 brioche hot dog rolls. We'll get those. Yes. AJ, do you want to pick like a little treat for you and Matilda a little bit later on? What do you think? Frutella fruit jelly coins.
Please, one for Teddy as well.
Well, be like one between you because there's probably quite a few in there. Is that what you want? Okay, pick one. Put one back. That's it. And then maybe what should we have here? Oh yes, yes. Oreo bites. All done in the Co-op, and I've got to point out Market House. The western end of it is now a part of Lloyd's Bank, but you're right. But what a wonderful building. It was constructed back in the 1830s. It replaced an older structure that was built in about 1614, I want to say, when Penzance got its town charter. But yeah, that one unfortunately is gone, but we have been left with this magnificent building that, like I said, is about, what's that, 180 years old? Something like that. 190 years old? It's pretty old. It's a significant building here in Penzance. I do love it. And of course, erected here in about 1870, maybe 1872, our most famous son, Humphrey Davy. Just across the road here, now standing right outside of Market House. But a fun fact, this narrow part of the road, prior to the 1980s, this would have been the thinnest or the most narrow part of the A30. And then, of course, the road was switched when the bypass was built, and that became the A30. But fun fact, most narrow part of the A30 up until the 1980s. AJ's just investigating these old relics. AJ, used to be telephones in there. We used to phone people. You get like your 10p or get your money, put your money in the slot, and then you'd ring somebody. But empty now. Obviously completely empty.
I'm in here.
You are here, that's right. Second one there, I assume that's empty as well. Yeah. Who uses these anymore? Let's just shut that door a minute, baby, just so that people don't sort of walk into it. There we go. Right up the steps. Just heading along the side now of the Market House. Very impressive structure. The west side of it, this half, in a minute I'll show you. Yeah, the western half used to be flat, but they rounded it off back in, they extended it and rounded it off. Future me here, I think shortened as opposed to extended. I think the original flatter building, the flatter edge to that building on the west side was longer, and it seemed to be shorter when I was looking back at the photo, so not extended. I don't know, I'm not an architect. Back in the 1920s, I heard it was because the original building, the flat building, or flat side of it, was structurally unsound to take the dome, so they had to build out so that they were able to accommodate that or continue to have that dome on top. So it was rebuilt for a reason, I believe. Right, now heading up Causeway Head, and we're going to try and find this new bakery, which is up on the right-hand side somewhere, and hopefully, if they've got them in stock, buy a pasty. Okay, here it is, right by Spiegelhalter. Loafs. Pastry never sleeps. Okay, let's head in and see what they've got. Right, ready? You're going to go down. That's it. Down the street there. Right, pasties procured. They look quite nice, so can't wait to see what they're like. But we'll take them home because it's only about, I don't know, 11:30, something like that. So I could eat a pasty now, but we'll probably take it home and maybe eat it in the garden. I always love this sign for the Buttery. The Buttery restaurant, morning coffee, afternoon tea, available for private functions, and then obviously the telephone number. Now it's the home of the Shore restaurant, just at the top of Morab Road, as stated there. But yeah, they've left that sign. I assume that sign must be protected somehow, because it's been there a long, long time. I do remember the Buttery. It's been gone a long time now, but yeah, it used to be nice. And some of these buildings here, look at how old that is. I mean, that's amazing. And when you look up, when you actually stop and look up at your town, or any town, you kind of notice what wonderful architecture is around you. It states there the Unionist Club on that building. Just here on the opposite side of the road. The ambulances used to park down there, but that's been long demolished. They've been gone for a long time now. But here, the Belair Health Clinic, that used to be, now to my knowledge, that used to be a big home similar to the ones on, if you carry on down that street on the western side of Penzance, you know, like a big home, big house. Got a feeling it was bombed in World War II. And then, you know, obviously the rest of it was demoed and cleared, the site was cleared. And then this clinic was built a few years after. But yeah, I believe I'm right in saying, I think that used to be a big house that stood there. But now, it's just a clinic. Didn't really have any plans for this video, but I certainly didn't have any plans to do a like an impromptu tour of Alverton Road, but heck it, why not? Further down in this direction, carry on along Alverton Road, along Green Bank, past the junction there with Alexandra Road, and I'll show you the old boundary stone of the town. Right, we're done with the Green Bank, and opposite, just more or less opposite the YMCA where we were a minute ago, along this wall somewhere, find it. Sorry about the wind on the audio. There it is. As I say, if I can find it, it's the old boundary stone for the west side of Penzance. So you can just about make out there. You've got BS for boundary stone, and I'm not sure. I think that's like a distance. I don't know, 13. I don't know. I can't see quite what that is. Down there is the year 1865. So way back in 1865, that would have been the western boundary of Penzance. Interesting. Very interesting. And 1865, obviously the significant year there is the end of the American Civil War, just to put that into like a historical context. Okay, made it home. I am going to cut AJ's just like in half, because actually these pastas are pretty hot, you know, which is a good thing, and he doesn't really do hot food, so I'm going to cut this in half and then like plate up that bit for him, and then mention that it is quite warm. Actually, the cross section looks really good. Look at all that meat in there. Can't wait to get stuck into this. I have heard, like I said, someone has reliably informed me that the pasties from Loafs are really nice, so we'll see. I'm going to take my pasty out into the back garden and just sit here. It hasn't rained again since those couple of showers earlier on, but one thing I am noticing straight away with this pasty is that burnt bottom. Look at all that encrusted juice that's cooked there. That looks amazing. Right. Let's see what this is like. It's a very large, knobbly bit of pastry on the end. Nice pastry. Yeah, very nice pastry. Good colour to it, good taste. Not dry, nice and buttery. Just a crimp. The crimp there is looking lovely. A little broken bit on the top, which is amazing. first impressions, very good. I'll get a little bit more into it and let you know. All right, got about halfway into this little beastie, and really good quality. The meat is lovely, the veg is lovely, and you know what I say about the veg, if it's all like individual, you can see that it's sliced there and not cubed. The veg, I mean, which is, that's my preference. I prefer like sliced veg. It is definitely moist, and it hasn't gone into that sort of, it hasn't become that like grey, lifeless mush that you get in a lot of the mass-produced pasties. Yeah, this is a really solid pasty. I think the town of Penzance has got a new pasty provider on the street. Yeah, really nice. I would highly recommend a pasty from Loafs. Just going to step outside. It is quite nice and sunny now. It's a few hours later. Matilda's home. Matilda's up in her bedroom playing, I don't know, with her Barbies or doing whatever she's up there doing. But I wanted to ask whether you guys have had this stuff before. I've only ever seen it in like Sainsbury's and Co-op. I bought this in Co-op yesterday, I think, because I went to Co-op yesterday just to pick up a couple of bits as well, because I'm not that organised, so I tended to shop, you know, sort of day to day. But this like XX espresso cold brew coffee with almond, and it's a vegan. It would be good for vegans to drink, I think. There you go, yeah, vegan. So it's done with like almond milk, but it's really tasty. I've had a few of these before, and yeah, I just didn't know if you guys have had them. If you like, you know, cold coffees, iced coffees and whatnot, cold brews, then I'd imagine you'd like this. Califia Farms. I've no idea what that is, but it's very nice. I think you either like cold coffee or you don't. You're either like a hot coffee drinker and that's it, and you don't touch cold coffee, or or like you say, I like both. I like sort of like nice warm weather, particularly in the summer. I like an iced coffee. All right, let's head back in, see what the kids are up to. You all right? Oh, you need a wee. Okay, you take care of business. Hey, did you have fun today with your play date? Yeah. What have you got here? Have you got the iPad upstairs? We don't let you have the iPad upstairs, do we?
But I only go on the games that you let me go on. Scratch. Fish Doom.
Fish Doom?
Yeah,
The heck is Fish Doom?
I'll show you.
Is it like some fishing thing and then you like murder fish? Fish Doom.
No, it's really really fun.
Fish Doom.
Do you wanna look at it with me?
So we've come off of Fish Doom for a minute because it was asking for an update, and I thought, well, we won't do that for a minute. And you've gone back into your Scratch Junior. Is this like something that
I play at school.
That's right. It's a school thing. Doesn't it like teach you basic coding skills or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what have you built? You've built a bedroom.
Yeah, and I put sunshine in it.
Yeah.
And the character is nothing, so I'm going to make my character.
Okay, you make your character. Uh-huh. Oh. Yeah. Do you want to put some eyes in there? Uh-huh. Oh. Okay.
Dada.
Look at that you've put in there for me. Look at my face. So I'm now a little character in that bedroom.
Yeah.
What's that like C-shaped line coming out of that circle coming out of my face?
You're exploding.
I'm exploding. Oh, well, I should think so. Looking at my face. Look at me.
Yeah.
Okay, she's happy up there. It's actually not too long now before Shelley comes home, so that'll be nice because ooh, pardon me. That'll be my pasty from earlier on, but we always miss Shellbell when she's at work, obviously. So yeah, what's the time? 3:30. So it shouldn't be too long before she comes home. She finishes at 4, but you know she's obviously got to drive home. Getting a selfie with Eugene now. So that was Tobias before, and now Eugene. Ooh, the eye of a cat. Look who's home.
I made it. Oh, hello. Hello, baby. You alright? Can I have a smooch?
Good day at work?
Oh, it's been shy.
He's being shy now.
Do you not want to do filming?
Do you remember the library cards that took me a while to find?
That were in the cupboard where I told you that they were all along?
Yes.
Yeah, those ones.
Those ones. And I was going to take the kids to the library today.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously Tilly came out of that situation because she went and had her play date. But obviously, it was still going to take AJ there, and completely forgot.
Cool, so good day then.
Didn't make it to the library. I'm sorry, it was an epic fail.
So tell me about this pasty.
Well, I had mine at lunchtime. AJ had half of that one, and we thought we would leave that half for you. So there's a new bakery in town. It's been open 2 or 3 months called Loafs, and they reportedly do quite nice pasties. I know you're having yours cold and not hot, but
I'm Cornish made, I don't care.
they're not bad.
There's a good amount of meat in it.
Yeah. Nice.
Not unpleasant.
Excellent. 2 minutes peace and quiet from the kids because they're being very noisy inside, aren't they? What are you doing?
Shopping.
Oh, do it on the online. Yeah, we normally get our shop from Sainsbury's. Sometimes we do like a manual shop, as we term it, don't we? Where we physically go to the store. Not this time of the year. Ah, you've come out to join us. So there it is. After all the talk about hot dogs, I am still not very hungry after that pasty I had earlier on, so I'm going to opt out of a hot dog tonight. Shelley's a little bit peckish, but she's happy to have hot dogs with me tomorrow night. I'm going to make Shelley some toast, a cold drink, and I don't know what I'm going to have. Just a drink, I think. A cup of coffee. I think that's what I'll have, and then we'll just put our feet up, watch something on the telly. I think that's the plan. We're going to leave a video there. I do hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, smash the bell, and you'll never miss out on any of our videos. Check out all of our socials at The Bright Side. So from us to you, cheers and go on.